Roller coasters attract attention from people who are looking to have a good time, but they also seem to attract the attention from paranormal entities. From the ghost rider at Knott's Berry Farm to the abandoned roller coasters rotting away in New Orleans, today we'll look at the most haunted roller coasters in the US. But first, thanks Cynthia for leaving us this comment after watching our best pets for the zombie apocalypse video. We're sure you'll love this horrifying video about some creepy roller coasters out there. Let us know if you've been on any of these rides and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 9. Coney Island Cyclone Roller Coaster. The world-famous Cyclone roller coaster is made from wood and sits as a monument to all roller coasters. Located in Brooklyn on the world-famous Coney Island, it debuted on June 26, 1927. Many have sought to preserve the dangerous coaster since the 1980s, and it might have not been the best decision ever. 3 people had died from fatal injuries since 1985 from either falling off their seat or hitting their head on a crossbeam. This hasn't really been enough to close it down, and people have to be slightly crazy to ride this thing. Nonetheless, it's brought a lot of kids joy while visiting the boardwalk, and most parents are unaware of the things that have happened here. Each year, it's rated within the top 20 best roller coasters, despite its dark past. Would you be willing to get on this roller coaster that's possibly haunted? Number 8. Gotham City Experience. Roller coasters can be extremely fun for that rush of adrenaline that makes us all feel like kids again. The next haunted place mixes things that everyone loves, Batman and roller coasters. But now there's ghosts. The ride was known as Gotham City Experience at Six Flags, Georgia, and Batman clearly wasn't here to save anyone this day. A 17-year-old boy lost his hat during a ride when he went over 2 fences to get it back. It was the worst decision he's ever made. People attempted to get him to stop looking for his hat when suddenly it was just too late. The roller coaster struck him at a high speed and he was a goner. This wouldn't be the end of the mayhem this ride has caused either. A groundskeeper apparently did something similar and was struck in the head by a 14-year-old's dangling foot. She hit the groundskeeper in the head and it actually broke her foot in the process. The place already seems pretty creepy, as you can see with this police car that has bullet holes in it. Then you find out about stories like this and it makes it even worse. Many still tend to sense the spirit of the groundskeeper while getting on this ride. Number 7. Space Mountain Disneyland. Disneyland in Anaheim, California is often said to be the happiest place on Earth, but it could also be one of the most haunted places on Earth as well. This amusement ride known as Space Mountain seems to attract more than just smiling children. What ghost out there wouldn't want to come to Disneyland if you think about it? Due to the high volume of guests who come here, there's bound to be a couple of tragedies that happen every now and then. Space Mountain is said to be home to a woman who gives off a greenish glow known as Disco Debbie. This was from a soul of a crew member who suffered from a fatal aneurysm. Other Disneyland workers claim to have seen ghosts pop up during the photographs taken here. There's one they call Mr. One-Way, who seems to most commonly pop up in a seat next to a single rider. Don't worry about him, guys, he just doesn't want you to feel lonely. Witnesses have described him as having reddish hair and a glowing red face. Number 6. Big Thunder Mountain. This next themed roller coaster is a popular ride everyone enjoys coming to at Disneyland, and it features not only beautiful scenery, but also some ghosts. This attraction is modeled after Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, and also has a spooky theme that's displayed here. People on the ride get the feel that they're going through a haunted ghost town that was built for mining gold, but the miners didn't realize that they were building on sacred Native American land. Eventually, Big Thunder Mountain was hit by an earthquake because of a curse. But in reality, it also seems truly cursed. There have been over 10 injuries reported on this ride, with one of them being fatal due to poor maintenance. It finally opened to the public at Disneyland in Anaheim in 1979, but there just seemed to be something wrong with all the Thunder Mountains in various locations, such as the one in Paris. Scenery fell in 2011, injuring 5 people at the Disneyland in Paris. It was said to have been from poor maintenance, but could it have really been from a ghost? Other guests at Paris were injured when Big Thunder Mountain derailed. Whatever the case may be, it's certainly a spooky ride to get on, and you should believe that there's something supernatural causing all these mysterious things to happen. Number 5. Ghost Rider, Knott's Berry Farm. With a name like Ghost Rider, you'd have to believe right away that this wooden roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm is slightly haunted. This bumpy ride is known to be a little bit dangerous, with nearly double the injuries from any other roller coaster in Orange County. There's at least 29 documented cases of some bad incidences taking place here. Most of these were rib injuries due to the roller coaster's high speed and quick turns. Foam seating has been placed, which some are hoping to make it less injury prone. They also had to slow it down a tad due to so many complaints. Maybe there are some ghosts coming from Disneyland and into Knott's Berry Farm? This place gets even spookier when Knott's Scary Farm comes to town in October. Modeled after an old abandoned mining town, the entrance is a dimly lit cave and is sure to send chills down your spine well after the ride is over. Number 4. The Ghosts of the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is another favorite ride among just about everyone who comes here, but legends of ghosts surround this roller coaster at Disneyland once again. For such a happy place, they sure do seem to have a lot of ghosts following them around. The reason for the haunting tales is from a tragic true story. It all started in 1984 when a 48-year-old woman decided to make the wrong decision of getting on the Matterhorn. The woman flew from the bobsled-type car and hit another roller coaster at that time. That part of the roller coaster will forever be known as Dolly's Dip by all the staff and employees. When workers have to walk the track late at night, this spot always seems to send chills down their spine. Some from Disneyland came forward about their experience with Dolly's spirit while operating the Matterhorn. They claimed to have never saw her, but could feel her lurking in every shadow. It's one of the visitors of Disneyland that's never left, and lights always seem to mysteriously fade out at Dolly's Dip. Number 3. Goliath, Six Flags. Six Flags Magic Mountain is a huge amusement park north of LA, which is home to some of the most intense roller coasters in California. This place opened up in 1971, and many of the advancements in roller coaster technology we see today is partially because of Six Flags research. The Goliath is a behemoth of a roller coaster that allows guests to elevate 235 feet high. Many began to realize midway through the massive climb to the top that there's no going back, and they get quite frightened. Well, maybe they should. There's more to this massive roller coaster than just steep drops and loops. Workers claim there's a phone booth located right next to the Goliath that seems to pick up phone calls from out of this world. Strange ghostly noises are heard each time the phone rings, which makes it seem like they're getting a phone call from another dimension. Other employees report feelings of sadness and bursts of cold air, and even sightings of ghosts here late at night. In 2001, a woman suffered a brain aneurysm while riding this ride. Her family sued the park, saying it was their fault. However, Six Flags refused to take any kind of responsibility. Goliath reaches speeds of over 85 miles an hour, and she didn't understand that she already had a heart condition. Could her spirit still be at Six Flags? Maybe she's calling the phone because she wants the workers to know what really happened. Number 2. Stratosphere Roller Coasters. The Stratosphere Tower is the tallest structure in Las Vegas and the tallest observation tower in the US. Construction began back in 1990 and it opened its doors finally in 1996, despite a few fires breaking out. Multiple delays in the construction occurred, but many were excited finally to view Las Vegas from the top of this massive tower. However, it also seemed to attract the attention of some mentally unstable people. Construction on the world's highest roller coaster began in 1996, but quickly suffered some strange problems. Most people wouldn't mind getting on a roller coaster, but over 1,000 feet from the ground is even more terrifying. The ride, known as High Roller, experienced frequent breakdowns, and ultimately it was a failure once it finally was removed just 9 years after its construction. Could the strange activity on this abnormal roller coaster be due to some type of paranormal activity? Other roller coasters were built in its place, but nothing seemed to be able to remove the strange ghostly sightings. 4 troubled minds sought to end their problems by climbing over security fences, then leaping from the tower. Guests at the hotel have reported ghostly activity from a woman named Melanie Bell, who was near the coaster during her final moments. Many report her being somewhat hypnotized by the height of the tower the day before, and she had displayed signs of depression well before the plunge. Could the tower be luring troubled souls as well? And number 1, the ruins of Six Flags New Orleans. Roller coasters are all fun and games until Hurricane Katrina comes knocking at your front door. Mother Nature released her fury on the Big Easy, and one of the biggest victims was Six Flags New Orleans. This is one of the creepiest amusement parks with plenty of roller coasters that are 100% abandoned to this day. When Hurricane Katrina flooded the park, everything was too damaged to repair, and it was just easiest to let it rot. There have been plenty of attempts to rebuild the amusement park, all which have completely failed. Trespassers looking to get some creepy urban exploring photos are prosecuted and cameras are set up on the property, maybe because they don't want you to find the ghost here. There's just something flat out creepy about a place that's meant to be fun becoming victim of urban decay, as you can tell from the photo of this roller coaster ride, the Jester. It no longer hosts those thrill-seeking attendants. There were a few different accidents and tragedies at this theme park as well before it was hit by the hurricane, so it certainly has some potential to be haunted. But if anything, the ghosts of Hurricane Katrina certainly still haunt all the attractions here, and no one will be getting on the roller coasters here anytime soon.